What's up, Sacktown? We're Mystic Valley Paranormal. We do know that there's a cemetery at the top of the hill. Well, hello there, folks. It's your buddy Big Bear. I wanted to start doing some spiritual pieces. I just got through doing some on goats, and before that I did a 6-part series on basically how I got involved in the paranormal. So I want to start some spiritual pieces. What I kind of have in mind here is I want to do something that is for people that are sitting in a position where they're thinking, hey, I think I may be sensitive, or hey, I think that I'm having issues with spirit at my home, or here's another, I would like to be able to keep in contact with my loved ones even though they've passed away. So, and that particular one is, I think, where we'll start now, is making that spirit connection. Now, with that in mind, in a lot of cases there has to be some reconditioning. You have to warm up at the possibility. I believe it to be fact, but for the sake of argument, we'll say warm up to the possibility that just out of our range, or at least most people's range, there's spirit all around us. Now, for the most part, they're just the perfect voyeur. They watch folks because not a whole lot of us on this side are interacting with them. Largely, we're too busy trying to live our physical lives to pay much attention to what's going on spiritually. So, but that being said, you need to kind of recondition yourself in this way. Accept the fact that there is spirit all around us, and then start talking to spirits that are part of your family as you would have when they were with you. Maybe you have a husband or a wife that's passed away or a year ago or so, and you've kind of refrained from talking to her because you just figure that she's gone. And that would be an excellent person to start talking to, because here's my thought process. The thing is anybody who had any interest in you on this side and gravitated towards you would have no reason whatsoever to not want to gravitate towards you once they're on the other side. Now, spirit, to my understanding, the way they've communicated to me is they're able to be in many places at one time and concentrate on many things. So if you're important to them, they're concentrating on you. Your well-being is important to them, and rather you're aware of it or not, they've more than likely, rather in a dream or state or impressed upon your mind in one way or another, have influenced your decisions. So they're still a big part of your life. So now, in order to make that connection, you're going to start being a big part of theirs again, because you're not talking to the dead. These folks are very much alive. They've just transcended. Now, so you've done that. Now, I have to admit to you, there's going to have to be some role playing here for a while. It's going to play a little bit of makeup. You're going to be having conversations like I started in the beginning. I'd get up out of bed and I'd say, because I lost my mother-in-law and I missed her, and she and I did coffee together every morning, I'd get up and sit at the table once I warmed up to the concept this was possible and pour her a cup of coffee. And, well, Mom, I got a big job today, or whatever, and this is how I would go. And for the most part, it was a very one-sided situation. But you will find the more that you talk to your family, and they begin to realize that you are serious about this, and that you start asking them questions. One of them would be a request that, hey, I'd very much like to still be a part of your life. Can you help me be able to work out a way that we can communicate? Now, you're going to hear 1,000,001 philosophies on this, and I'm not going to dignify who's right or wrong. I can only tell you what's worked for me, so that you may be able to draw off of that and form your own personal experience. Now, that being said, you're going to have to work out a code with spirit. Now, I've seen some folks on TV as a prime example. I won't mention names, but they got this old boy that every time he sees a bouquet of flowers, that means love, and different things like that. So communication is going to be vastly different. And hey, you may as well warm up to it now, because once you're on the other side, this is how you're going to roll. So they will appeal to your physical aspects. Sometimes you may have a sense of smell. For example, and you guys have probably heard the stories where maybe you had an old uncle that always smoked a wonderful pipe, and you know, all of a sudden you got a cold chill in the room and you started smelling his pipe tobacco, and that was more than likely good old uncle saying to you, hey, I'm here and I'm still with you and I love you. So there'll be codes and stuff that you'll have to develop. You'll develop your own personal code talking to spirit. They're able to access your memories to a certain extent, your personal experiences. So you might find yourself recalling on a particular circumstance because it may relate to something that they're trying to communicate. You have to have faith in the process and the wherefore to go through it. And it's going to take a while. And what you'll find interesting is I always tell people to do rapid fire in this. And what I mean by this is when you're having a communication, like let's say you feel the presence of a spirit, you think that one's around you. I always ask, hey, who are you? What's your name? And rapid fire, the first piece of information that hits my head is what I respond to. Now this, in these particular cases in the beginning, this be just between you and them, and no one else has to be the wiser about it, but you respond rapid fire back and forth. Now, a lot of times in the beginning, you're kind of talking to yourself, but you will find after this progresses that you'll get to a point where you'll go, whoa, wait a minute. That didn't come from me. I'm surprised to hear this piece of information. And then you'll begin to realize that you're actually starting to form that communication. Now, this don't happen overnight to most of us, unless you were born this way and have lived a period of time with it where you've become adjusted. For the rest of us that have to change our disposition and our minds, it takes a recreating of our own selves in order to get there where we can do it. So in the beginning, you're going to feel very silly and insecure about it. You know, you'll be running around talking to yourself. But you have to honor yourself and honor spirit. And that's how you begin. Now, let's talk about the physical manifestation of spirit. And to be frank, I probably should have mentioned this first. Those of you that have suspicion that you're in the presence of spirit, perhaps you feel a little disoriented. Sometimes you may even feel as if your eyes have been fogged over. Pressure headaches for no particular reason that seem to appear and disappear as quick as they become. In my particular case, I get chilled from head to toe as a payoff when I've got the right piece of information. And they also, in the beginning, to let me know that they're there. I don't believe it's them actually as much as it's me becoming aware of how my physical body reacts to the energy of that when they're present. Is I have respiratory issue. I get a little bit of a tightness in the chest. I'm not having a heart attack, not going to have an asthma attack, but I become anxious, and then I begin to realize, I ask, hey, spirit, are you there? And then boom, I get chilled from head to toe, and I go, okay, spirit's here. And then I start to go through the process. So you're going to have to figure out for yourself what's going on with your body, how this works for you in your life, and stay true to the game. Now, obviously, there's always the gift of discernment that has to apply. I don't know what your faith base may be, whoever you are. I'm Christian. I put my faith in God. I believe that Jesus Christ is my personal Savior. So I always pray to Him for protection. And I have to trust in the fact that by virtue of my spirit, He has given me an inner knowing to know what is right and what's wrong in it. That being said, I have ran into people that get involved in doing spirit work that they'll just all of a sudden randomly do any old thing a spirit says to do. Now this I have to warn you. As much as there are beautiful and wonderful spirits, there are those that aren't so much. Now, I'm going to say this, and this is probably one of the few times I'll curse on camera, but the fact of the matter is if you are a live asshole in the flesh, when you die, you're just a dead asshole. And those type of folks take great pleasure in causing the same type of chaos, mischief, and upset that they did in life. And they take advantage of those that are sensitive in the beginning parts of the stage. So you have to use your common sense as well. Just because you may be making a spirit connection does not mean that the connection that you are making is holy and has an intent that is good. So you must protect yourself at all times. My protection comes from praying to God. My protection comes from keeping that connection to God. Now, those of you that know me personally know that I'm not a Bible thumper. You know, you tailgate too close to me, I'm prone to get out and knock you in the head. So I'm not this holier than thou type of individual that's going to tell you that, oh, love your neighbor all the time and this and that. As much as I believe that is true, I don't apply to those principles all the time. So, but that's the thing, okay? That's how it is. Well, hey, I'm looking at my timer here, and I've learned that I better keep them under 15 minutes so that way I can kind of finish up one topic with another. I'd like to expand on this, and I probably will. I hope I did a good job on this. I'm kind of a rookie to this, doing this little bitty blog things. I hope they're informative rather, and I hope you like them. Okay? If you have any questions, don't hesitate. You can get a hold of me through mysticvalleyparanormal.com. We have a client inquiry thing there. You can hit on that and send me emails anytime you want. I'd be delighted. Okay? You know, you can actually hit up my my email direct, which is mysticvalleyparanormal@yahoo.com. You hit me up. Ask me anything you like. If I know the answer, I'll tell you. I'll help you and walk you through it and love you through it. And if I don't know, then we'll look together to find out what the answer is, okay? Well, this is your pleasantly plump buddy, Big Bear, signing off. God bless all of you, and I hope you enjoyed this piece.